Hi.
Hello.
Hello again. Ministry Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes.
Etc. Etc. Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill, a bunch of people.
Yes.
It's got the guy who plays Jack Reacher.
Yes.
Actually, real quick.
What?
On an unrelated note.
What?
You know who he is, right? It's Thad from...
Yeah.
What do you think of him being the next Batman?
I don't
100,000%
care
on
what
board.
he does. I'll watch it.
I'm on board.
So great.
I'm on board. If you
I
want
watched an interview with him a long time ago. It was like years ago. He was, I don't remember what it was, but he was acting so unbelievably confident, like way too confident, and it was funny. And it was like the person interviewing him was like, okay, like
he's awesome though. But anyway, he's a miss. So
okay. So little history about this movie. It's based, I guess, on a true story because here's what
I watched a Henry Cavill interview, and he said that his character is based on a real person who.
The James Bond
started the whole James Bond.
The James Bond movie is books were based on that actual World War II character.
Yeah,
that he's playing,
so, which is cool. That's really cool. I love James Bond. It's
absolutely
corny and it is what it is. But I have a feeling this is going to be good.
Like your martinis, so you're
yeah, I do. I like martinis. I had like fucking way too many last night.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway.
I think it's probably going to be.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of.
He doesn't typically
satisfying one-liners after like horrible things that these people do.
I don't know. I just think the action's gonna be good. It'll have like a lot of like intrigue, political intrigue and stuff.
Hopefully.
I love the World War II era.
Yes,
I just do.
It's one of my favorite.
It's like I'm super into that shit
periods for sure. In terms of warfare, it's just.
I love the technology. I love just the mass conflict, like how much it was at stake.
And they didn't have. Oh, just push a button and we spy on everything. It was like blood and tears and grit.
Like I was gonna say, Guy Ritchie just doesn't really make bad movies.
Sure.
I did see one that I didn't like. It wasn't a bad movie, but I didn't really like it. It was called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. U.N.C.L.E.'s like a spy agency.
God! I was like,
and it had Henry Cavill in it.
Movie or something.
It had Henry Cavill in it.
Okay.
And I just didn't I didn't like his character. His character was like playing a James Bond type, but he was like too perfect.
Well, we also didn't like him playing Argyle. I thought that was pretty annoying. That was not a good role for him, and he looked terrible. Sorry, but he just didn't look.
I like the movie, but he was
the movie was great. I love.
I thought he would be the high part of the movie, but he actually brought the movie down.
He did. He sunk it like a. Yeah. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah. Anyway, but
So, I bet you it'll be about.
I love him as an actor, though. He's great.
I bet.
I just feel like that's a bad 6 or 7. You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that this. If I had to guess, from what I saw of the trailer, I'm going to say it's probably right up my alley. It's 8.
Yeah, you're going to like it.
Yeah. Because I just like that, I don't know, we talk about it all the time. I just like shit blowing up. Yeah. And guns. And like. And people doing shit. And like,
people. Guerrilla warfare and shit like that. I always thought, like
I
the
like
best
secrets
parts of,
and like when there's plot twists based on secrets and seeing like.
We'll see if it follows the cookie cutter, like. Or if it's like actually based on like real events that happen. It's
supposed to be.
But like, how sensationalized is Hollywood going to make it?
It's Guy Ritchie. He's going to exaggerate so much shit, but
spiral out of control.
But let's go see that shit, and we'll see you guys on the out and out.
Yeah, sometime later.
Hopefully, it's better than he thinks.
Yeah, let's hope so.
See ya. You work for me now.
You work for me. Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. We just saw the movie.
It was pretty good.
It was good. It was very good. Holy shit.
I just had a couple the pacing just didn't seem good.
Yeah. There's a huge sag in the middle. In terms of
there's a
action, but it's like
not action, but it's like
boring. It's the whole movie's intense. Just get that.
You're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it's.
This isn't a movie I would watch twice. I don't think another time.
Yeah,
because all the tension
is because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
and then if you know it,
I don't know. I'll get to it all in spoilers, but
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
well shot.
I think so.
Well acted.
Yeah. I like all the characters.
The fucking music's fantastic.
Yeah, the music's really good. I was saying it
just has...
It had this feel of Kill Bill.
It has that same Man from U.N.C.L.E. James Bond syndrome where they're so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
They're the best marksmen that ever existed.
And they all have silencers for half the movie. And
did they even have that in World War II?
I think that was a thing that did come out.
It happened it was the whole movie was...
And it
just
was
people
dropping. There is a scene... Well, I can't get into
hundreds and hundreds of people they kill.
Just... Yeah, it's a little excessive. What's his name from Blue Mountain State?
Thad. We'll call him Thad.
Thad is amazing in this
Make
movie.
him the next Batman, please.
Yeah, it has to happen.
He is such a badass.
Movie,
I was like, holy
terrifying.
Shit.
He's terrifying, and he's a good guy, and you're like, holy shit.
You remember Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
You know, like the Bear Jew? This guy makes him look like fucking Mary Poppins and shit.
He cuts the guy's heart out, and he plans to keep it. He's like,
I'm not, I was hoping I could fill this barrel of Nazi hearts.
It's like, holy crap. He's psycho. He's a bow and arrow marksman from hell.
He's a fucking knife
he does
murderer.
all this, that too. And he's got arrows, and he's just like right up to people and just fucking, and oh my god.
So much shit happened. So many people got
The action scenes are very, very well done.
I don't know, the very last one,
the hand-to-hand shit is just
they started doing some shaky cam stuff though.
The end battle?
Yeah. It was all like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't super shaky cam, but I felt like in the boat, the close quarters, they were just shaky camming it.
I don't know. I could see everything. Maybe it was a little annoying. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It was kind of annoying to me, but whatever.
I'd have to rewatch it.
It didn't really detract from it because you're still watching him just stick people.
Oh my god. He does that and he'll just be like, and then he'll go, and he just opens people
he'll
up.
And stick someone like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
that had to be rated R. There's a lot of
really fast in real life. He's like, for a big dude that's that big, he's like, whoa, and you're like, whoa, where does his arms go? And there's like holes in you from his knife, and it's just crazy. So, Henry Cavill, that's great.
That's basically the one downside is that it's just a bunch of, most of the whole movie isn't like cool, like, it's like,
it's really one-sided.
It is. 5 guys come and kill like 400 guys.
The very first battle scene is so over the top with like how well they just had everything under control, but while simultaneously winging a lot of it. And
they're just like whatever. They're just walking. It's like walking away from explosions, not being, but also shooting behind you and killing someone.
It's like they're walking into the explosion.
But it suffered for me because I was like, these guys aren't afraid for their lives. They're too perfect.
They're not.
They're the best shots.
That's the part that
at fucking 400 yards.
It's super weird. Even the girl.
Yeah, I know.
The double, triple, quadruple agent can outshoot anyone.
She can outshoot anyone ever, and she's the best singer, and she can dance. She's perfect.
Smartest person in the room. She's witty, cunning, funny. She's perfect.
I feel like that's every character. All the main characters, they're all just like
but she had to be charming and sexy and manipulative and tricky.
The villain was.
Oh, he's great.
I mean, the villain's obviously Hitler, but there's like a specific Nazi in this one who like
he's in charge of
he was
terrifying,
intimidating, and I was like, holy fuck,
that
this
look
guy.
On his face, just the expression is just like, I don't want to see that.
He has a lit cigarette, and he's just like.
Yeah,
because when he finds out some information, he's just like,
oh motherfucker. But like, just the way, like, he'll hold a pause and he's like trying to figure you out, and he's just and you're like, oh shit, did he figure this thing?
So
you're just like on the nail. Like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? Oh,
and you know what they did? The director, he made it fucking, because they're in a crowded club and they're talking. Or whatever, like crowded outside or at a restaurant or something. And they're talking, and then suddenly it's completely quiet.
Yeah.
Except for their words.
Yeah.
And the sound of like a cig being lit. Yep.
And you're just like,
places it on the table. Chink, and you're waiting for like her words, and you're like, oh my god.
Because they're sparring here. Yeah. They're like doing this like, are you lying to me? Or are you not?
Or like extract information through like one sentence at a time.
Man.
And they're like summing each other up.
Yeah, the dialogue is really good in this.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I think that.
Like I said, the only problem I had was that sag in the middle.
Yeah, because there wasn't. It was all set up. So a lot of this movie has a lot to do with. Well, it's
true story.
Two split actions for most of the movie. So you're following.
There's two teams.
There's two teams. Yeah.
One team's only 2 people. The other's 5.
Yes, and then some more later.
Yeah.
But so it's like splits back and forth, and I'm like, I don't even know which one's more intense. They're both pretty fucking intense.
I was like, oh god, because it was so stressful. It was like wearing me out.
Yeah,
I was like, oh god.
I was like, can we?
So,
oh man, yeah. So I
thought
think
that
we
was
should.
We should
rate it.
Get to ratings and get to spoilers.
Let me think of things. So you didn't think the pacing was that?
I didn't like. I felt that it was a bit long. Honestly,
yeah, I suppose that could have been.
And there's stuff in the middle where I was
trying
just
to think of, like what scenes could have been shorter. There's probably a lot, actually.
Honestly, I don't know.
The plot,
it's really hard.
The plot is really intricate.
They covered everything.
Yeah, and they did it where they didn't linger on any scene too long.
Correct.
So I'm like, that's tight.
I guess
that's fine.
I don't know. It's fine, but I just had that feeling. I was like, okay, let's get something done.
We've got good acting. The plot is a real thing that happened for the most part. So it's good.
It's an intense plot.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Pacing is good. Music is great. The shots were really good. It was really funny. There's a scene towards the end, like the last 2/3 of the movie is all at night.
Yeah.
And so it's really dark in the theater, and then they cut to this daylight scene. And we're like, oh shit!
Oh, it wasn't dark. It was like a 45 minutes of like darkness,
just because it's all this night mission.
It's all this at night. Like
they're just walking along the harbor. Like, oh, hold on, just wait a second. Hold on, wait just
they're too perfect. They're too good at what and they're too confident. Like they're not like sneaking. They're just
Henry Cavill's character, he gets a kick out of like people like getting.
That was cool because every time he'd kill somebody, he'd be like, ha. Like,
it's just like, it's just like this. Oh, it's like, so weird.
He steals this Nazi outfit. And
so people think he's a Nazi
like,
at night. Yeah, and then he goes, you know, Captain. He's like, ah!
He's kind of a psycho.
They are, and that's the thing that's crazy about it. Well, anyway, so I guess we can rate it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's tough. I'm between a 7 and an 8.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I'm actually gonna go with a 7. Because I wanted more. There was so much tension and stress for me, mostly because that girl was dealing with that Nazi.
God, it was so tough.
And them getting their mission done, I was like, they're too good. Like I don't.
Yeah, it was a little lopsided in the.
I'm not even like worried for them.
So it's like you cut to them, and it's like, oh, this is the comic relief part, and it's actually walking by like shit. And it's like, and then when you're with her, it's all like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, because she's doing this cat mouse.
Oh my God, she was really good.
Yeah, sparring. She's great.
Oh man.
7 for me. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna copy you with a 7. I think it's a 7. Yeah.
It was good. It's worth a watch because I love the period, and they used all like their clothing and everything was top notch.
Is it really? Yeah, I guess it is a 7.
You think it's 8?
No, I don't think so. I'm wondering because like I kind of have a 7 is a movie I'll rewatch, but I don't think I would actually rewatch this movie. Maybe.
I respect it enough to have a 7 to it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
7?
It's a healthy 7.
Okay, 7's all around. Spoilers!
Yeah, holy shit. There's a lot going on. So just to fast forward to the end, it does have a...
Oh, go on.
It does get into... There's a few sentences for each of the...
It does the Animal House and the other historical...
Like what happened.
So-and-so.
Yeah, all the medals they got. Like all this, and then you find out the main agent lady and Gus, who's the main guy, they got married later in life, and they lived happily ever after. So that was kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, so
there's this. It's such a convoluted plot. We're not going to break down the movie.
No, but they got to get to the ship.
But the main spoilers is no one fucking dies. There's like no tension like that. The one guy gets shot.
One guy does get shot.
He gets shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, he's fine.
So like the stakes never happened for me. That's a lot of why it's a 7. To me. The stakes didn't really.
Yeah.
They should have been. It's such a dangerous mission. They should have been losing people the whole time.
It's like the most dangerous thing ever. Yeah. And it's like Winston Churchill's fucking Hail Mary.
They have so many they get stopped. They're like, oh, if the British get you, you'll be jailed for life.
Yeah, because
if the Germans get you, you'll be tortured to death
and then killed. Yeah.
So the British catch them, halfway, and it's just like they're so lucky.
They got lucky, yeah. They're
Everything
on this
happens-
boat, and they're trying to get
it's
to
so,
their
like,
mission, and then
perfectly
a
timed
British
and-
warship
Yeah.
stops them, and then they're about to like fucking.
And a U-boat finds him.
And then a U-boat attacks, and they're like, or like, yeah.
He's like,
so
you better go home.
Yeah, get out of here.
We're gonna fight this U-boat.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay.
And so they get away.
So like, I don't know. Like I said, everything.
like the only-
The stakes they weren't super. I don't know. Let's go walk along the beach and they kill everyone.
They literally just like they could just be like having a night stroll and enjoying the moonlight and you wouldn't even know that they were killing anyone, like because nobody else in the harbor knew. The whole it was so ridiculous.
And then like the one guy, the guy who's helping him, who's gonna blow up the electricity plant.
Yes.
And he's like, and you're like, and these
that was
Nazis come in and he's like planting a bomb.
He's like in the
And
machinery.
he's like, he's about to sabotage it. And they're like, oh, this rat.
What do we got? There's a rat in the machine, and then
And I was
he's
like, well, there had to be
well,
some
the look
sort
in
of.
his eye, he's like,
I'm dead.
I was like,
I thought
the whole mission, everything is done.
I thought the look in his eye was like, well, I guess I'm gonna die now. But instead, it was like, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers.
No, he just goes, "Whoo," and then out comes the gun, and boom, boom, and then click, click, click,
And then he stabs the guy.
And then he had to
But it's like,
stab a guy.
you know, I wanted him to. Someone had to get caught, or like something had to happen. You're dealing with fucking hundreds of Nazis.
Did it not happen in real life?
I don't know.
Maybe they all got away like that.
It was
and the one
so
guy got a bullet.
positive.
It was extremely
Because
positive.
everything happened out for the best.
It did, and
It was still tense.
It was very touch and go and
Once
on the
nothing
wire.
bad ever happened, I started thinking like, is nothing bad ever going to happen? And I just had that.
Is this a sensationalized?
The last 45 minutes,
Yeah.
I was carrying that in my heart, like, well, nothing bad's going to happen. These guys are too good. So I was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. So the
was
premise
cool,
is
though.
that they got to get to the ship.
They got to sink a ship that supplies all the U-boats.
It supplies all the U-boats in the entire fleet with their air filters for their oxygen systems. So without that, it kills the entire fleet. It's like and so Churchill puts together a team, or he gets people, you know, of the most crazy fucks that are known to man, basically.
What do you
to
think
go
of
on and-
Churchill?
He did a good
think he
job.
did a good Churchill.
I bet you any money those were actual real dialogue, like
I'm sure.
snippets from his. That sounded
You
just
could
like the
tell
way he writes and talks.
You know how they did the Penguin in the Batman?
yeah.
They like put a ton of like a
I
ton
don't
of
know
like
who the actor was. He did a great job.
they made like because you could tell they were like, let's make him look just like Churchill
Yeah, as close as we can.
yeah. So
instead
they
of just,
like they made
find a guy
it,
that looks close enough,
enough,
and then who can still act that way.
So that's why it looked kind of shitty.
Yeah, but
whatever.
his Churchill voice was awesome.
He was good, yeah.
He was fucking selling me.
And I've read books on him. He's like one of my favorite historical
He's
figures.
amazing. He's one of the
So every
best
scene that he was in, I was
speechwriters ever.
like, fuck yeah, this guy.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah.
That end scene when
They work for me now.
they were, dude. I couldn't believe how that was a fucking power move.
I thought he was gonna court martial him because he's
No,
like,
so
my hands
yeah,
are tied.
because what happens is they do get the ship
They
out
go
of. They can't blow the ship
against
up.
orders.
Yes.
The admiral said, "Dude, shut it down.
Yeah.
Abort mission." And then they did.
Everyone
the mission
involved
anyway.
is going to go to
jail.
jail because
For
this
the
is
rest
not
of
a
their
mission
lives.
that anyone. And then Churchill would have gotten impeached,
Kicked
and
out.
kicked out, or
Yeah.
whatever, because he didn't sign. He didn't ask Congress to be able
Parliament.
to Parliament. I mean, yeah, to do that. So like, it was a secret mission.
Yeah,
And
that's what made it cool.
It
But
really.
remember right
and
at
then,
the end,
well,
when
so
he
the
says that-
documents only came out.
In
2016.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about this until then, so that's kind of neat.
when he's like, you guys, blah blah blah, you went against orders, and they're all just got
he's-
uncuffed.
he's
or
ripping
they're
on
all
them.
cuffed, and then they start bringing in lobster,
Dude,
and this,
huge.
and that.
They're in this room with all these tables, and all this food starts showing up.
And he gives the speech.
this
He's like,
speech
if
is
you wouldn't have
awesome.
done that, Americans wouldn't have been able to cross the Atlantic
yes,
and fucking
and join the war effort.
yes. And he's
So-
like, as for you guys, and they're all getting uncuffed and like ready to eat this
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
And I was like, dope.
Yeah,
I
it was
like,
so cool.
dope.
He turns around and
Yeah.
like his turn of phrase is so brilliant, and
Yeah, it was good.
and then he's like, yeah. You work for me, and he walks out the room like a badass.
Like I said though,
So fucking
it's
crazy.
the action to me isn't good because they're too perfect. People die in a lot of horrific knife wounds and arrow wounds.
Yeah,
and that's
I think,
cool.
Here's what I think. I think the unarmed combat with Thad was some of the
way better.
Was some of the best
else,
shit I've seen in years and years. He's just fucking. It's so good. It looked realistic, and he's so big that he could just crunch people up anyway and throw them over his shoulder. But he's like,
you can tell these little guys,
so
these little
awesome.
Nazis are like, oh shit, I guess I'm gonna go for it. And then he's like, he just like, manhandles them. And then he puts a head through a window. And there's broken glass on the bottom of the window, and he just goes
slams his head down.
Chops
his. It's so brutal. There's a scene where he's really fighting people with arrows because he's a bowman, and he's
like stabbing him with the arrow, like
the neck. He looks on the wall, he's like, oh, and he finds a giant. He's got a fucking axe,
like a fire axe.
Yeah, fire axe on the ship, and then there's this scene where he's just like,
he's like a serial killer.
It's so brutal.
He had to kill like 100 or 20 guys. Him alone.
Easily, dude. Easily. I don't even... Fuck. That's so crazy. And, like, there's no way, like, in real life that, like... Because you know how, like, in modern day, you're like, oh, I have this many kills, like, especially if you're a sniper or something. There's no way to know how many guys you killed unless you're actually sitting there and counting.
They're confirmed by whoever's around you, usually.
I know, but, like... Yeah, I guess so. Then there's a lot of sitting in a room and somebody's documenting the whole thing.
And then they find bodies and they're like, well, they're all going to be accounted
but it's
for.
like in some complete other country, you're not going to just go find the body and be like, oh yeah, they did kill that guy.
I don't know how it works.
No, so confirmed is like, yeah, but like the sheer numbers of like, oh, just keep walking, look straight, and there's four guys.
It's just almost annoying because they're not even looking and they're like,
they're not. It's really
just walking
weird.
forward like,
it's really weird.
It's not weird. It's lame. It's
kind of. Yeah.
It's selling these guys as like they're unstoppable superheroes.
Yeah, there are moments where they feel maybe one or two moments where that you think that they're like, ooh, maybe a little bit worried.
It's only on the ship when they're getting away and the guy gets hit.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, he got hit.
Otherwise, Henry Cavill's character is completely like just super confident. He's trying to think through things, but once he commits to a plan, he's like, it'll fucking work. I don't care.
It's like James Bond. Everything
it's
just
true.
Miracles.
It doesn't matter.
He just makes miracles happen.
To kill.
That's why it said at the end, it's like his character was based on, James Bond was based on this character, and you're like, yep, I can see it. He just walks around like,
and it's like
no one can hit him.
No
one can shoot him.
Nobody got a chance to shoot at him because he kills him way before that. And then like they don't have sniper rifles with scopes on it or with silencers, so they take Bow Guy, and he's just like they're so far away, and he's like, like he never missed a shot.
He never did.
Not a single shot.
Hundreds of yards with a bow.
So he's just like like fucking Robin.
And you watch him, he's moving targets, and he's still like
He's so good. It's not believable.
It's almost annoying.
It's a 6. No, no.
It's a 7 because it was well acted.
I liked it. It was entertaining.
I had a good time.
Yeah. So
I'd
say go see it, but maybe go see Abigail instead because I
don't know if you like. I don't know.
It's a good war movie.
Super well directed.
I like that they cut away to some political stuff.
Correct.
To have an overarching, like, you can,
It was all tension building. There's so much tension building.
And there's like higher officers who are trying to compartmentalize Churchill's plan and not let it out. But then there's a mole in there and all that shit. So it's like, it gets kind of rough because you're like, you don't want him to get caught. And then he does get caught, but then it works out anyway. And then they're like, well,
it's like everything works out.
It just works out.
Every fucking time.
Yeah, so I don't know. And that's crazy, like tugging a giant tanker out there like that.
And then just handing it over
to the British. And then I guess that really happened.
Why did the Nazis put all their eggs in that one basket?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
All the fuel and the filters and the everything.
Well, maybe they didn't have...
It's in South Africa almost.
Yeah.
That's where they're storing it to supply the whole fleet up here. What?
I don't... Maybe they're manufactured down... No, that doesn't make sense.
In Africa?
I don't understand that either. I think it might be a place where they stop and... Like, U-boats stop there and then... Okay. But why would you put it all on a ship to go somewhere else then? What is going on here, man?
Whatever.
That's so weird.
What I'm gonna do when I get home, though,
is research it.
No, I'm gonna look up if they had if silencers were a thing back then. Because if not,
because they're overused.
If not, this is like a 1.
It's pretty bad because I gotta say, man, half the movie is just
most of it, they have machine guns with silencers.
Well, I gotta say, they're like this big on the end of the machine
They are,
guns,
but still.
But they only fire from the hip. Just
I know. So I'm saying.
they're just like there's a
They're
couple
so
of scenes
good at
where
aiming, and
Henry
they're-
Cavill's like, or he even shoots behind him.
And I
it's
have a
just like-
bunch of World War II
just-
games, and their submachine guns back then weren't the most accurate thing.
No, they're
and they're shooting people
sloppy.
like 50 yards. Like,
You can't control bullets and where they're going.
he's the master. He's so
well, they
good.
all are.
I know.
Especially Arrow guy. That
I
guy
like
is
my
fucking-
favorite part is in the beginning when they're recruiting him, and he's like, he's just slowly stealing cigars, and steals the whiskey.
No, they
and
like
he's
they offer him tea and he reaches for the
And he gets the
scotch
scotch-
and he's like,
expensive
"Blah, blah, blah,"
scotch.
and it's just
and he starts stealing cigars,
Yeah.
and then he steals
he
fucking
like looks right at him,
lighters.
he's like, right? You don't mind if I have one more?
Pockets
It's
it.
like you got 10 in your pocket.
He's got like
It's
10
what-
cigars.
what- I thought his character was great.
No, he's great. It just-
All of their
it was-
characters were neat. You know, they all had a special talent that they were good
And
at.
the one guy who you didn't really build him up, the kind of shy guy who's like, I guess I'll just do whatever you said. He's the one to get shot, of course.
Yeah, what was his deal? Because we have
he
the
was
sailor,
scared.
we have the mastermind, we have the
Bomb expert,
the bomb expert, Aqua guy. Then you have Henry Cavill,
the mastermind.
well, he's the leader.
No,
and
then the mastermind guy.
I already said that.
Apple guy. Okay.
And then Archer /
Killer.
Well, he's just a killer.
That guy's the boat driver. The guy the shy guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh. Anyway,
He lived.
We'll let you go. There's not a reason to
I
talk
mean,
too much about this.
Not really. It came and it went.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, bang the bell. Leave a comment if you saw this. If you have,
And I'll tell you all about fucking silencers.
or if you know, yeah, we'll. If you already know and you whatever, we'll figure
I'll
it
tell
out.
you what I know.
I hope it's a real thing because that's gonna really.
Because I had
break my
Sniper
heart.
Elite 4 and 5. There
And
was,
there was,
but it was the well rod, and it was a one-shot thing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Not the.
well, it was
Because they
God.
had semi-automatic fucking handguns with silencers in this movie.
Yes,
So,
they did.
I don't know.
It was aggressive silencers. It was overkill, man.
Like 200 people died from silencer bullets. Guaranteed.
Maybe more.
Probably more.
Probably
actually.
more. It's they're
Yeah.
having fun, smoking cigars, fucking
Playing
waxing
cards.
everybody.
They're playing cards.
Oh my
I
god.
was
So,
kidding.
all right.
Anyway.
All right, we'll let you go. Peace
See ya.
out.